What's up, guys? Justin Morgan here, and this is once again my training from this past week. I'm a little late this week. I usually try to get this out on Sunday, but this week I just kind of took it easy on Sunday and, didn't really record anything, but I figured I'd get this out today. And I did a lot of kind of max effort snatching this week, and I really think that it's helped my snatch out a lot. I feel like for the snatch to progress, it really needs to kind of be relatively heavy. Maybe not max effort, but, it needs to be heavy enough that it'll kind of elicit, improvements in the lift. So I feel like the variations, like doing muscle snatch, which you'll see me do here in a little bit, has, a lot of carryover. But I feel like when I do lighter snatching, I almost feel like it has no purpose at all in improving the lift. It makes very little difference. When I do really intense variations, whether it be snatches from the power position, or where it's a power snatch where you're catching a little bit high, it really doesn't matter. All of them seem to elicit adaptations where I see improvements, but in all of those cases it really needs to be like, kind of like really heavy singles. So I'm kind of going to play with that some going forward. I'm not going to completely stop doing anything other than singles with the snatches, but I feel like it's something that I need to integrate more frequently than I have. They are fatiguing, though. I know when I got to the day where I do all the muscle snatches on here, which you'll see a lot of them I failed at, but just doing the really heavy kind of max effort snatches just seem to have the best carryover. If I'm not doing that, then I'm probably not improving on it at all. So I've completely rewritten my training program, the same one that I've been following. It still integrates a lot of the principles from the Russian squat routine that I've discussed previously, particularly in the volume accumulation phase, where you're doing sets of 3 in the first week at 80%, sets of 4 at 80% in the second week, sets of 5 third week, sets of six sets of 6 in the fifth week, but I kind of cut the volume up some so that it's over 2 different days. So there's a lot of variations. I would not say this is the Russian squat routine at this point. I've kind of manipulated it and made so many changes, but it still seems to have the same effect. It still causes my squat to go up, so that's all that I'm really concerned about. I'm not really tied to any name or routine. I just want to see my squat go up. So if I can, be less fatigued and have my joints feel better by doing 3 sets on 2 different days, and then a third kind of front squatting day with the same principle of 3 sets of 3 at 80% as a recovery, then I don't think that's such a bad thing. But I'm using the same idea for weeks 1 through 4. Week 5 of the program that I've written, I'm going to be doing kind of a deload week, and then week 6, 7, and 8 will kind of all be max sets of 5, max sets of 4, and then max sets of 3. Where you work up to a 5 rep max, and then I do back off sets at minus 10%. And then the heaviest that I plan to go in it is kind of a 3 rep max, and that will hopefully be an improvement or something where I can go. I just feel like doing I think I talked about this in the previous training video that I posted anyways, where I just feel like doing 3 rep maxes is, I don't know if I'd say easier than doing 1 rep maxes, but it's better to gauge how you're going to do. If you do a 3 rep max and you know that you're not going to make it to 3, you can kind of tell when you finish the second rep, whereas when you do a 1 rep max, you're kind of leaving it all out there on the line. You're either going to make it or you're not. And for training purposes, I don't necessarily feel like that's completely necessary. I feel like if you're doing a powerlifting competition, then maybe you need to do those 1 rep maxes at some point in your training, but even then, I kind of just feel like you're better off doing those types of lifts, in the competition where you have spotters and people around you. I guess that's really all I have to say about it. A squat, I just talked about earlier in this video, where snatches, I really felt like you need to do max snatches to get good at max snatches. My snatch doesn't go up, but that's not the case with the squat. Squats and presses and things like that, it seems different. I don't really know how to describe it other than just to say that, if I do a 3-rep max and my 3-rep max goes up, then my 1-rep max also goes up. They're almost, maybe not exactly the same, but they're very close. It's very similar. Whereas that's, not the same with the snatch. Now the clean and jerk, I don't really like doing reps with the clean and jerk because when I catch it, it's difficult to reposition myself afterwards, but I'll probably be doing more multiple rep type work with the clean and jerk than I do with the snatch. So some of this is like really technical. I don't know if you guys are really interested in all that, but I guess that's really what's kind of been on my mind with this training and the training program, so it's kind of coming out in what I have to say about it. But I'll have, in the next cycle where I go through, I'll be posting a lot of the template for how to follow the program. So if any of you all are interested in following that or doing something similar, you can kind of copy down some of the same ideas. If you're not a weightlifter and you're still interested in it, then you can kind of see a lot of the stuff that I do really isn't necessarily snatch and clean and jerk, but would probably have good carryover to somebody that's just interested in fitness or something. And you can always replace the snatch and the clean and jerk with like high pulls. And Dmitry Klokov does I think he calls it trappy. It's like a trap exercise, which is kind of like a high pull, same concept, same idea. And you can do those partial variations that will have carryover to muscular growth and say your shoulders and the traps and some of those things, but don't require all the technical skill of doing a snatch and a clean and jerk. You can always do the push presses and things as variations. I don't know, but that's really about it. You guys enjoy the rest of the footage, and I will talk to you in the next video. Leave any comments or questions you have in the comment section below, and I will do my best to respond either through comments or through a video. Talk to you guys later.